Morning, brothers. So we have a very interesting topic regarding the practice of seminal retention or semen retention. And I think I'm going to title this video the rational argument for why you should be doing this practice. And let me begin firstly by giving you a brief introduction regarding what it entails. And it's simply, as it says on the tin, the art of not ejaculating, not giving your seed out, spreading your seed so needlessly. And the first question you might want to ask yourself is, well, why would I want to do that? And that's a very reasonable request. But this video is specifically for the scientists among you, the analytical and rational thinkers, the logistical individuals that would like to see evidence. And I understand it, we live in Western culture and science is a dogma like any other, but it's a dogma that has brought us, to the places where we have cameras and computers, and it's got a lot of evidence behind it. But as this video isn't predicated on the more intuitive individuals, I thought I would give an argument for those among you that buy into or strongly supporting this narrative of rationality. And again, I'm not disparaging from that fact, but without further ado, we have to understand that everything in this world is predicated on energy. Everything is energy. The sideboard, this camera, even the sun beating down on me now, that is the source of everything. It goes into the soil, into the nutrients, the plants soak it up, becomes our food, we take in the food, and it becomes a part of our body. Your body is a manifestation of the energy of the sun. Essentially, we are children of the sun. And again, you can take that analogy like I did. You can regress it from food, from plants, from soil to sunlight. And coming back to semen in men, we can start to draw the comparison, we can start to draw the argument that the production of seminal fluid within our body is a product of the sun, it's a product of energy. Like I said, that you soak the food, nutrients into your body, and you use that to create different cellular structures, one of which is sperm. Now, if we take the action or take the quite degenerative practice of excessive self-pleasuring and masturbation in our culture, man is depleting himself once, twice, maybe even 3 times a day of this energy. And if the body is constantly having to replenish those stores of energy within the body, the sexual stores, the sexual energy, you can see that you're beginning to put a stress on your very biology. If you imagine that every single day you are curling a dumbbell, you're curling that, once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day for 365 days a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can start to see that compounding effect of how that stress is built up over time and how it's going to generally be very debilitating on your body. And it's not going to give you the energy, it's not going to give you the vitality that would otherwise be manifested in front of you if you weren't continuing in that kind of practice. Let me leave you with something that is going to be hard for the rational among you to argue, and that is the first law of thermodynamics. It's the law on which things like computer systems and technology is based on, is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Okay? If you took a let me think of something. If you took something like the only thing I have in front of me is pliers for pruning my bonsai tree. But if you took this, you couldn't completely destroy it. You know, I could break it, and this would be pretty hard to break, but I could smash this to pieces, but I would still have the fragments of the thing. And whilst I was smashing it to pieces, it would create a lot of noise, which again is energy. It would create a lot of damage on the thing I smashed it against. What I'm trying to explain here, my friends, is everything that is based on this physical realm has a equal and opposite reaction towards it. If you are constantly depleting yourself of your sexual energy, you are going to have a equal and opposite reaction on how that is going to affect your energy levels as an individual, and how you ultimately conduct yourself throughout this world. Your body is the vehicle for which you can peer out and experience the world and eat things and interact with the environment. So if we can think about what would happen if we didn't deplete ourselves of that energy, what would happen if we retained that energy that we were constantly expelling through compulsive masturbation and watching pornography? What would happen if we stopped curling that dumbbell once, twice, 3 times a day for how many days we've been curling that dumbbell? And the answers are quite dramatic, and again, I wanted to make this more rational for you, but for the scientist, but there is no rationality behind the benefits that you will experience when you do this practice. Social anxiety disappears. You know, skin gets clearer. You think a lot more clearly. You're less compulsive. You begin to regain that luster for the world, that kind of childlike awe you had about nature and the sun and people, and just life in general seems a bit more vibrant. I'm rambling here, but I really want to invite men to try it for 2 weeks. Try this practice, and you'll see. You won't just see, you'll experience the kind of things that I have said to you. And again, if there's anything preventing you from doing that, because again, it's easy to say, oh, it's the group narrative is every man, you know, jerks off every day and everybody watches pornography, but this is a false narrative. It's a poison that's permeated our culture and has turned you against your own divinity. I need to make sure that I'm not making this esoteric. If it helps you, I was the rational among you, and it wasn't until I learned the premise, and this is Einstein's premise, you know, E equals mc squared. Energy is an intrinsic part of the physical realm, and you can't create more of it, and you can't destroy it. It exists as a axiomatic truth inherent in the world. And because that is true, you can start to think about, I can start conserving my energy. I can start cultivating this sexual power that is within myself, and I can start translating it, transmuting it. Like I said, it doesn't get created or destroyed, it transforms into different areas. So, you know, what would happen if I stopped transforming this sexual energy into degeneracy, but I started transforming it into creative pursuits like art or writing or starting a business, getting more money, developing my physical health? There's a lot of arguments for this, man. And if you subscribe to anything of what I've said here, subscribe to me, and can't wait to get started on this journey with you, my friends. And I'll see you very soon.